guys, it's Carly from All the Pretty Books, and today we're going to talk about these really cool celebratory editions by Bloomsbury. So these celebration editions were published by Bloomsbury in 2001. They are also sometimes advertised as movie tie-ins because they were published the same year that the movies came out. So the first movie came out in 2001, so that's why we have this guy right here, published in 2001. It has the Thomas Taylor cover art, but it's been modified, and it's got lovely foil up here. See, it's all nice and shiny, and the back is red instead of the blue, but it still has Dumbledore on the back. And on the bottom, it says Bloomsbury down here. These editions right here are not to be confused with the Canadian Magic editions, which look quite similar. See? Canadian Magic Edition, Bloomsbury Celebratory Edition, Magic Celebration, Magic Celebration. There's a few cosmetic differences, but one of the biggest is down here. The Canadian one says Magic Edition, and it was published in 2000, not 2001, so it's not a movie tie-in. So, moving forward, they're really pretty. Sometimes you'll see people say that they're first editions on eBay, but everybody says everything's a first edition, so it doesn't really mean anything unless, of course, it is a first edition. But then you have to know what it is that you're buying. So sometimes you'll see them, you know, first print, first edition, and they'll have it listed at really strange prices. They're not super rare even in first print form. They're around, but they're nice to have all the same. And yes, this is a first print because it is me. Nothing else is really different as far as the internals. It's got the story. There's really not any internal illustrations either. They're just pretty. And then you see Chamber of Secrets, which came out with the Chamber of Secrets movie in 2002. And on Prisoner of Azkaban came out with the Azkaban movie. And you can always tell the Magic editions because they really are shiny. They're really lovely. Interestingly, they don't have a box set of them, and they're not available in hardback either, unless somebody went through the trouble to make them hardback. And here's Goblet of Fire. I actually really love Giles' illustrations. I think he's a fantastic illustrator. And what's weird, okay, so here is the Order of the Phoenix. I actually love that the lettering is red. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it is, and so is the spine. There's the back illustration, but look at how thin it is. And they have one that's thicker, like you would expect it to be. But like here's Goblet, here's Order, and it's just weird that the Order is so much thinner, but the deal is it is actually quite dense. It's very heavy, and the pages are so very thin. They're like Bible thin pages. If you hold them up, you can see through them. And then we have the really cool Half-Blood print. This one was published in 2009. I love the green, and I love Carcroft's illustration anyway of the first edition. And lastly, we have the super cool Deathly Hallows, and I think it's actually the nicest Deathly Hallows there is. I like the purple up here. I like the black offset with the illustration in here, and it's just a sharp looking book. Like, look at the spine. It just looks really sharp. And there's of course the back. And this was published with in 2011. No, first published in 2010 with the first movie. So that's when this came out. So interestingly, the celebration editions are published with the movies. They're celebrating, I guess, the movie. That's why they're called that. No box set and no hardcover, but they're still really fun to have. They're all over eBay. If you have any questions about collecting Harry Potter books, you're very welcome to contact me via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can send me an email through my website, or you can just send me an email. I read them all. You can also leave them down in the comments below, and I'll happily get to them as well. I enjoy talking with you guys. I can talk about Harry Potter book stuff, nerdy stuff, even fandom stuff all day long. So just hit me up. And with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching and happy collecting.